It's the end of the year. Everywhere on.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So for today's video, I really just wanted to film a chill sit down video. So today's video will just be a girl talk video. I'll be answering some questions for you guys and I hope you find it entertaining. So let's just get started. So the first question is, what is your favorite thing about where you grew up? I grew up here in Canada, and I think one of the few things that come to mind when I first initially hear this question is going to school. I don't know about, like for me personally, I had a really good experience going to school. Like I was never like bullied in school. I think that was mainly just because I was like the quiet kid and a lot of people didn't notice me. But I really enjoyed going to school, specifically kindergarten. So that was one thing that I really loved. Another thing that I loved about growing up was like the Canadian summers. I loved just being able to like ride my bike outside and just spend time with my siblings outside. Like I remember at like the first house that we used to live at when we were really younger, we would go outside and we would just play like soccer until like the sun went down. And I remember we would bring out like blocks outside and we would play. And on top of that, I always loved exploring like our neighborhood and just like roaming around and just like wandering around, which was like really nice. So I think those are the few of the things that I really loved about growing up here in Canada. Next question is, what would you do if it was your last day on earth? Oh, what would you do tomorrow if it was your last day on earth? I also feel like if money wasn't a problem with this, I feel like I would go to Bora Bora, and I feel like I would go zip lining, and then I would eat a bunch of food that I've never had before, and then I would probably just end off the day watching like the sunset, and I feel like that would be absolutely beautiful, and I feel like that would be really cool. So that would be something that I definitely love to try. The next question is, okay, is there something that you used to do that you loved but you've now stopped doing? The only thing that can come to mind for me is reading. Now I love reading. If you didn't know, I talk about it all the time. I love purchasing books. I love reading books, but recently I haven't been doing that just because I've been so busy with school. It honestly hasn't been that long. I think the last time I read a book was like maybe like early October. So it's only been in like a month or so, but that is one of the things that I used to do. But I still love doing. Anything else that comes to mind? Oh, another thing that I used to do that I actually really enjoyed that I stopped was playing the flute. I played the flute for 2 years in grade 7 and grade 8, and at the time I didn't like it, but now looking back on it, I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. And I would love to take lessons on playing like the flute again and like almost master it or become better at playing it. So I feel like that would definitely be something that I'd like be open to trying and I'd love to try. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I feel like this is a tough question. I feel like I haven't done a lot of traveling, so like for me personally, I feel like I would love to live in Italy for like a year or even like 6 months, or even like a full 180. Like I'd love to live in Africa. That's definitely for sure. Where specifically? I'd love to I'd love to either live in Congo, Zambia. But if I had to just pick one as of right now, I feel like I would love to go live in Italy for even like a year, just kind of like feel it out and see what it's like. I feel like Italy and like Canada aren't necessarily, I mean, they're definitely not the same, so I feel like it would kind of be a culture shock. So I feel like that would be like a whole new experience, and I definitely feel like when you travel, it really opens up your eyes, because when you stay in the same place forever, that almost becomes your world, and you think and not ignorant necessarily, like I feel like when you stay in the same place for a really long time, that becomes your world, and you forget that there are other people that exist outside of that, and you forget that there are people that live very different lives in comparison to you. So I feel like when you travel, it really puts things into perspective, and you're like, dang, this world is like, it's massive, it's huge, and there's so many people. And I feel like that's like a beautiful thing about traveling. When you were little, what did you want to do when you grew up? When I was younger, I really wanted to be a teacher, and I think the main reason why I felt that way was just because growing up, I honestly have to be honest, like growing up, I was blessed with very amazing teachers. I liked all my teachers were really kind to me, so I think that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a teacher. And then I hit junior high, and then I kind of didn't know what I wanted to be, and then at one point I was like, maybe I could be like a paramedic, or I could be like a nurse, but I don't know, it just never stuck with me. Right now, what I'm currently pursuing is business and also psychology, so I would really love to be a psychologist, which is obviously very different from being a teacher. But yeah, that's kind of the path and journey that I'm on right now. What is the craziest or most out of character thing you've ever done? I think for me personally, because I'm a very like shy and introverted person, I feel like the two things that I've done that are like out of character for me personally is starting a YouTube channel and also auditioning for my school play in grade 12, that was fun. That was really fun. It was definitely something that I would never see myself doing, just because, again, I don't really like to put myself out there and I kind of like to keep to myself. But although I was very nervous to audition for the play, I did it and I ended up being on the cast, and it was such a fun experience. I met so many amazing people, and it's definitely something that I would love to do again. And oh my goodness, just because we did a musical at the time, just like the rehearsals that we had, like the fittings for the costume and everything, and how we almost became like a close-knit family just through the months that we were working on the project was really amazing. So that was definitely a really memorable experience. That was definitely one of my highlights of high school. So there's that as well. Also my YouTube channel too. I just feel like as like a shy person, I wouldn't really consider starting a YouTube channel because you almost like put yourself out there, and like I feel like when you post content on the internet, you kind of give people the opportunity to judge you. So I feel like those are two things that I've done that are like, if you could relive one day from your past, which would it be and why? This is hard. I feel like any day from kindergarten would definitely be a day that I would love to relive. I don't know what it was, but kindergarten, it was so much fun for me. Like, I just loved going to school, and I loved not necessarily interacting with other people because I didn't really talk that much, but I just loved just going to school and learning and just being in that classroom environment. And honestly, back then when I was in kindergarten, life was so easy. I had to worry about nothing. I literally just woke up and the only job I had to do was to have fun. And I honestly miss those days so much. And I'm definitely grateful that I took the time being a kid and I didn't try to grow up too fast. So any day from like kindergarten is definitely a day that I would love to relive because it was absolutely so much fun. It definitely was. What is your favorite thing to do when you're all alone? Oh my gosh, some of my favorite things to do when I'm alone is read. Again, I've said this before, I love reading so much. Like, give me a good book and just don't talk to me for the rest of the day and I will just sit there and just read. So that's definitely something that I love. Some genres that I really love, I really love romance novels. I also love murder mystery books, and I love psychological thrillers. And I feel like when they're written properly and when they're written right, they're so hard to put down. Like, I feel like sometimes, in my opinion, books are more entertaining to read than watching like an actual TV show. So that's definitely something that I love to do in my alone time. Another thing that I love to do is also like watch TV or even watch anime. I feel like I've been bouncing a lot between like watching like reality TV shows on Netflix and also watching anime. I recently just finished watching the new season of Too Hot to Handle. It was interesting, but it was good. I liked it. I really liked this season. In terms of anime, I've been currently watching Spy Family, My Hero Academia. I started Chainsaw Man, which is very interesting. But apart from that, that's kind of like what I've been like alternating between in terms of like entertainment. And lastly, what is your idea of having a perfect weekend? I feel like for me personally, a perfect weekend is definitely me staying at home. I would ideally love if it was raining outside or if it was snowing outside, because I feel like that really just sets the vibe and you can be like really cozy. And then I'd put on like a cozy little like set, and then I'd have like some fuzzy socks on. And we're definitely making some hot chocolate. We're baking something of some sort, whether that's muffins or cookies. Following that, we're also doing some skincare that day. We're definitely putting on like a face mask, using some under eye masks, and we're also just gonna like curl up under a blanket and just read a book. But when I do that, I like to have like, I'll be like wearing my glasses, and then after I'll have like low lights on in whatever room I'm in, and then I'll kind of just sit down and read. And honestly, I feel like that's what I feel like a perfect weekend for me would be. Just the time where I can just like relax, de-stress, and just be able to do the activities and things that I love without having to like worry about finishing like a plethora of other tasks. So honestly, that's how I would typically spend my weekend, or that's what I would consider a perfect weekend for myself. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you were able to learn a bit more about me. I also hope you guys have been enjoying the videos that I've been posting lately. But again, I will see you tomorrow. Bye!